if you are going toward what the vision look like, and that's like greatness. That's, you know, on multiple levels. That's the vision that I'm working towards. I just think about that, like, this shit ain't supposed to feel, you know, comfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to be a burden to a degree. And you gotta, you know, wrap your mind around that and accept it and embrace it.
What's up, Royal Family? It's your boy Joe B, and you are now tuned in to the King Minded Podcast. Hey, family, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are here fellowshipping with your boy, and your presence is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you for your time this evening. Oh, my goodness, family. I got a treat for y'all today. I got a subject that's been on my mind, it's been on my spirit, been on my heart for the past 2 weeks, man. And I had a conversation, right, with my dad. And shout out to my dad back home in Chicago. Man, we were having a conversation about careers and stuff, and just the dynamics of the economy now, and really we jumped on the topic of trades, having a trade job. Ladies and gentlemen, God created us to use these hands for a reason, right? Listen, when I was stuck in a corporate America job, when I first got out of college and got into my entry level job, I'm not one of those people that was like, oh yeah, I got in and I went straight to a $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 job. Nah, family. I got my bachelor's degree in business administration and was working for a pretty good company, but it was a startup company. And during my time at that company, I started to gain, you know, knowledge and learning the ins and outs of how a company works and whatnot. And pretty much I felt like what I went to school for was definitely utilized in this job. So it wasn't that situation where I was like, I went out to school, got a degree, and didn't know what I wanted to do, or what I was doing wasn't what I went to school for. Now, what I went to school for, I was using in my career, in that particular job I had at that moment. But as time went on, I relocated to Tennessee during that time in 2016, and during that time, I just had a reality check. Just had a kid, just had my son Jeremiah at the time, but I felt like I was running into a brick wall. I felt like I plateaued out in my career where I was just stuck, like making $42,000. And when I went up for my performance review, and I'm feeling like I'm killing it. I'm training new people coming into our team, and some folks was like, man, like, that's good, Mr. Brandon. We're so proud of you. You've been training. You're awesome. But we only gonna give you that 2% raise, or that 1% raise, or whatever they give you. Family, I was like, how am I gonna sustain a family like that? How am I gonna feed my child? And that light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, you know what? I need to start looking for a trade. It's time to start looking into something that is going to benefit me in the long term, but it's not going to cost me a lot of money to invest in to get. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our people to pick up a trade if you haven't already. Because this economy changing, y'all. You got all different types of trades, people. You can be a plumber, an electrician, anything, a painter, a truck driver, a person that install windows, doors, locks. You have all these different trades people that are out here that we just need to tap into if we haven't already. Family, I was one of those people. I felt plateaued out in my career. And I started to think, I'm like, man, what can I go into? God, how can you use me to do something that I love, to where it don't feel like work, but you still using me, using my hands, using my mind, allowing me to step outside my comfort zone, but specialize in one thing. And the Holy Spirit led me into trucking, transportation. Family, trucking changed my life. There was a lot of good that came out of it, a lot of bad that came out of it. But guess what? Having a trade allowed me to sustain myself. It allowed me to have that independency to where I didn't have to feel like was dependent on somebody else. My success, my increase of financial stature totally depended on if I drove or not. We got a saying in trucking where we say, hey, if them wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. That's the thing about having a trade. You got to work with your hands. If you don't go to work, if you don't go to that job where you got to go paint a house or paint a couple rooms, guess what? You ain't getting paid. You ain't gonna have no extra money to look forward to. If you out here power washing a building or power washing a sidewalk, that's a trade, family. Getting into trucking, it totally changed the dynamic because, and shout out to one of the trucker, I ain't gonna call him a YouTube trucker, he is a YouTube influencer in the trucker industry. And shout out to Big Bro Trucker Brown. Trucker Brown dropped a video back when I was, I don't know if he dropped it back in 2016 or somewhere around that time, right? And the video was pretty much him explaining to people just like me that was like dead in a dead end job, felt like it wasn't no way out. I'm stuck in the cubicle. Trucker Brown said, man, call the recruiter. Call the recruiter. Because once you tap into the trucking industry, not only are you tapping into an industry of influx of money and prosperity, but you're tapping into an area where transportation is a whole world within itself. As I explained in previous videos, you got different divisions within trucking. You got different specialties, special certifications you can get. You can get your hazmat certification. You can get your tanker certification like I got. Like it's so many different areas you can go into. But if you never tap into the trade, if you never look to do the research to really understand like what are you really good at and how can you bring a service to a person that needs it. And it don't matter how many people are in the same industry or that's doing the same thing, what sets you apart from that person. I was reading an article and it was talking about the different brands of bread that's in the store. You got all these different brands of bread, and guess what? We consume them all. From the high-end bread to the low-end bread, somebody is buying something. And that's the same mindset you gotta have when looking into having a trade and really stepping out and signing up to be a part of something that's going to propel you to that next level in your career. Having a trade is an extra outlet towards freedom, towards not depending on that 9-to-5 check every day. I had that conversation with my dad, and he really just opened my mind up, because kings and queens, we got to get back to using our hands. Like I said before, God said, if we use our hands, He gonna bless us 10 times more. I gotta put these things to work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so grateful to God that I did, because picking up a trade such as trucking, and it don't have to be trucking. I talk about it because I'm passionate about it, and I want to bring the safety, the awareness to our fellow people about trucking and trucks on the road, and how to take the precautionary measures to save your life out here. I want to bring information and awareness to our new drivers to understand that, you operating a dangerous piece of machinery, my brother, my sister. You gotta take it serious. But you know what they did? They took that same step, that same leap of faith that I did when I didn't know from a can of paint what it took to be a trucker. But having a trade is having a focus, a specialized point towards working in a specific area that's going to bring a value or service to somebody else. That's what having a trade is. That's the beauty of having a trade, people. So I just want you to take time out. Just think about it. If you're a person that's in business already and you've already got a trade, this message may not be for you, but it might be for the next person that hear this message. And I want to share it with them so they understand that it's another outlet out here, people. You don't have to get stuck in that around the clock mindset of a 9-to-5 job. And ain't nothing wrong with it. But it's a benefit in picking up a trade, picking up something that you can bring some value or service to somebody that's looking for. It's somebody out here that need that business. It's people out here that need a painter, that need a plumber, that need an electrician. They need it. And ladies and gentlemen, we got some special guests coming soon. I can't wait. I'm not going to spill the beans right now. But guess what, people? I got some very special guests that I'm going to bring on to our platform here at the King Minded Podcast. Again, I'm enlightened. I ain't one of them people that's super woke, but I'm enlightened, and I want to use my enlightenment to bring empowerment to our people. So we're going to empower our kings. We're going to empower our queens. We're going to empower our youth. We're going to empower everybody around us, because, hey, it's all about love, and it's all about awareness, and it's all about taking that proactive step towards bringing that information to our people. We're not going to be selfish with our information. We're going to share it because we want to touch the masses. I don't care if it hit one person or 1 million people. That's the ultimate goal, but I just want to get you to open your mind up, people. And that's what we all about here on the King Minded Podcast. So until we meet again, be safe. Please be safe out here on this road. Shout out to my boy Guilty 718. He always say, hey, my kids out here, your kids out here. Let's make sure that we make it back home to our family safe. To my drivers out here, man, keep it in between the mayonnaise and the mustard. You already know how we rock it here on the King Minded Podcast. Hey, follow us on all our social media handles. Hey, we on TikTok, King Minded Media. We on YouTube, King Minded Podcast. We on Spotify, King Minded Podcast. Hey, we got a lot of important topics that we gonna discuss, and I just appreciate you guys for tuning in with your boy. So until we meet again, God bless you. I pray that you are safe and stay vigilant out here. Until we meet again, peace and blessings.